Hello everyone. I am Himanshu, currently doing BTech in Aerospace Engineering and founder of Mars Pioneers, if you don't know. Today we have our guest Shashank. So Shashank, can you please introduce yourself so that our audience get to know?
Yeah, hi Himanshu. First of all, thanks for inviting me for this talk. This is something that we should definitely talk about. Basically, I'm doing my aerospace engineering in Bangalore, and I've been working in a space startup called Rocketeers from past 1.5 years, and recently I've started building a space community called Planetgenus, which would bring everyone together. I'm basically trying to build a space ecosystem where people can come together and talk about some interesting things happening.
And let's move forward to our personal podcast. So can you elaborate more about your new organization, Planet Genus?
This is a community that we are trying to build. We are trying to build a proper ecosystem. We can get some good information and some of the ways these days it's capturing the insanely beautiful images, one of the greatest mysteries. We are trying to cover all those to reach wider audience. And also, so basically, Genius is a place where we are building an ecosystem where people can to involve themselves in space industry. And I think it's really important, especially I'm focusing on India, to build a proper ecosystem in India. If you can see in Western countries like America, you'll find a lot of organizations and communities, and even people are involved in space-related activities since their childhood, like when they are in class 5, class 6. So I think it's equally important to build such an ecosystem in India if we are serious in building the space industry into a trillion-dollar economy. That was it. We are still in the building process. We're going to make some announcements soon. Anyone who is listening can follow us on Instagram or LinkedIn, anywhere they are comfortable with. We have a handle Planet Venus, and yeah, that was it.
So I would state a problem that nowadays it is how to find the people to work along us in the space community, because everyone is thinking that they are Elon Musk, they could be founder of a startup and they could do anything. So that is hard to find people to work along us, that kind of
Yeah,
because everyone is building their own startup. So you won't find any people to work with you, and they do not understand that things like rocket and satellite takes like at least decade to complete, like 10 years to 20 years to build a single engine or a rocket or a satellite, whatever you see.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing, there are many people who are really enthusiastic to build.
Yes.
But I think we need to have a proper place where they can find people to work with. If you have any idea, if you want to work on it, you won't find the right set of people that you want to work with. So I think we really need that kind of environment in our country to have more developments, research related to rocketry, space science, astronomy, the space in general.
So those of you who know that in Mars Pioneers, our goal is to land on Mars at the end of this decade, and we try to connect to many people as we can to work with us. But I connected with the one person who represent India in the various international space conferences. Okay. So I asked him there is any official, he was part of Mars Society. Okay, there are many society like Moon Colonization Society and many more, and he is part of an Mars Society foreign country. And I asked him is there any official Mars Society of India? So he said no, there isn't. There are who are claiming to be Mars Society of India, but they are not the They
Yeah,
are
yeah.
not part of the main community.
Mm.
Like they are just on officially like claiming that they are mass society. And I don't. We also do not have idea the mass society in India what it is doing and like what it aims to. Like we have to sort out that problem also.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
And yeah, like there are actually many things to talk about when it comes to like Indian space ecosystem or Indian
yes,
space. Like there needs to be a lot of development.
yes.
I feel like we'll get to a better place in a span of like 1 or 2 decades from now.
Yes. But I think that the like there shouldn't be any like competition, high end competition between the startup bubble which is creating nowadays, because
Mm.
like many are trying to claim as that they are a startup and like posting the CAD models of the rocket, like 3D designs and models of the rocket, but people don't realize that you can draw a cylinder and a cone easily on any 3D designer in your first day also. Like
Mm.
people also have to become aware, and
Yes, yes.
like we have to fasten our seatbelts and that kind of thing, because NASA is already in their plan to reach moon within the next decade and then Mars after that. So like we have to fasten.
Yeah, and now like they are planning to launch Artemis
Yeah.
mission next month. That is also like one of the very interesting things that is going to happen this year. The Artemis launch, we will see. Yeah, like it's not like India should go ahead of any other
Yes. Yes.
country, but very good development. Like we have to go in a faster pace, like to have more discoveries in the world, like in the universe.
See, our main message is not to compete with any space agencies in any part of the world, but like India has capability to be with big space agencies which are ahead of us, and the scientists in the ex-ISRO scientists are already saying that ISRO is lagging behind like 10 or 20 years. So we have to cover that part only. We are talking about it, like not to like compete with NASA. Instead, collaborate with NASA to land on Moon or Mars, like
Yeah,
Russia, Canada, and ESA is doing to like maintain the International Space Station. We know that several things are going there also, but they are maintaining it after all. So I think India should be also like big part of that.
yeah. Like I believe we will be in a better place, like in maybe by like in a 1 or 2 decades, like as I said.
Yeah.
And also last week I had been to one of the talks by NASA scientists,
Yes.
SSCRD office. Like if you
Yeah.
don't know about SSCRD, it is one of the organizations like who are trying to provide space education to everyone.
Yeah.
Like they have been,
I attended the present lunathon on the like
yeah, like it was International Moon Day
moon day.
meetup.
Yes, yes,
And in fact, scientists shared one more thing, like when someone asked a question about how India could go ahead in space industry, he shared one thing that really made me think about it. Like India should not always buy from other countries. Like they
yes,
should
yes,
build it. They should make it like our astronauts are being like Yamanats are being trained by
yes,
yeah like we can get them trained, but along with it we should also try to build a proper
yeah.
ecosystem where they can be trained here itself.
It's like
Uh,
that. Russia, like nations, are providing us like fingers to walk along, but we are holding their hands. That type
mm,
of things are happening. Like we realize that to cut the shortage of time, we take the technology from others nation. Okay, but I think it is high time we should work on our own, because we have talented people in our country too, and many are like brain draining to other countries like Sudan Pichai and many more others. Like we do not have any regret or complaint against that, but it is like one side it is brain draining, and other side we are taking something from other nation, so it is not develop in the favor of developing our technology of our own nation. And we have
yeah.
great mind here, so I
And,
think we should
I
develop our own, and not about only the like. not only about the astronaut training. Even if you don't know, and our spacesuit is also made by Russian agency only. So
Yeah.
type of things are happening. So we would see what happens in future, because one more thing, like presently I posted in the Instagram post, like Russian Ukraine engine, like RD 810 engine, which we are currently borrowing from the Russia. Like we are again borrowing from someone. Like why it is required, and it would replace the like initially it would be used to replace the, like if you have seen GSLV Mark III properly, there are two liquid engines and there are two side solid booster. Okay, so
Yeah.
they are planning in future to replace the side booster and the two liquid engines to into four liquid engines only. Single is like they would not have to deal with the solid state because like uh, eventually you have to launch astronaut from it. Okay, and we have seen in the past that NASA has like face the consequences of using a solid booster in the space shuttle itself. So we have to learn from the other mistakes, and we would look into the future whether it happens or not. Because currently, what news I am receiving from the internet is that due to the Russian-Ukraine war, it is like in the halt. Like our engines and the Gaganyaan program is in halt, but rest of things in India is currently going on in their own way.
Yes, yes. And I recently saw a news claiming that they'll be launching unmanned mission in 2023,
Yes.
maybe 2023 or
Let's see, because to launch that also we need a proper, like they are develop they are thinking to develop a third launch pad. Like we have two launch pads now, for one for PSLV and other for GSLV, and one is for launching the small vehicle. Like we recently did the reusable launch vehicle RLVTD and scramjet engines. So
yeah.
they are trying to build a third launch pad where they could lift up the astronaut and send it to rocket. Like if you have seen the SpaceX how they launch their astronaut, like they get out from their car or the vehicle and then goes inside the lift to rocket toward rocket. That same kind of thing would be happening here. So they are in under the process of building the third launch pad. So let's see how it will be.
Yeah, like when it comes to Indian space program, like there is a lot to talk about,
Yes.
and and also like basically my viewpoint is with respect to like Indian space economy, like we really want to start doing more research and building things. I think there is some restriction from the government when it comes to ISRO, but still like nowadays there are many startups like Sky, Beratrix,
Yeah.
and Agnico, like they are trying to do something good. We will see like that might boost the economy. And like if we can build a very good space economy, that will eventually help in the growth of Indian economy and to beat inflation, like to reduce the inflation rate. Like many people don't talk about inflation,
Yeah.
but they are the very important factors for the country's growth, like to
Yeah.
make India a developed country from what we call a developing country right now.
Like we are currently in the for the space economy, we are in the race with the like SpaceX, because people are like before 10 years they have no option. Like for cheap launch access, they gave the satellite to ISRO. Okay, but nowadays like SpaceX also can launch 100 satellite or 200, like 110 in their single launch. So they are like confused between two agencies in current scenario, like either to go with ISRO or with SpaceX. Currently, ISRO had their like trust within the launch providers, so they are also getting the satellites, and they have developed the divisions like in space to deal with the private players in among the India, and like NSIL, New Space India Limited, for like receiving the satellite and launches through the Indian launch vehicle. Okay, so do you have anything more to talk about?
Um, No, like, yeah, so basically I would again say, I would again request like whoever listening, like go and watch Rocketry movie. It's really good, and like we really need to promote such movies in our country, and and also like do connect with us on like Planetgenus. Like we are like building a very good community. Like I'd be grateful if anyone who is listening would be a part of it. And also thank you for inviting me on this talk. Like it was really good. Like we talked about rocketry movie, and we also had a good discussion about Indian space economy. Uh, I think we could also talk about Indian space economy in detail sometime in
Yeah.
future.
And concluding the podcast, I would ask you last question. Like, what is your aim and vision toward the society? Like, what is your personal future aim and what you want to give to society in future?
Yeah, like basically I'm more into Indian space industry.
Yeah.
Like I am interested in like metaverse too, like virtual reality and augmented reality. Um, like I am a part of Web3 ecosystem, and like planning to introduce virtual reality like into the space industry where people can learn about space and some of the interesting things in a beautiful manner. Like virtual reality like has such potential.
Yeah.
And I want I would like to inspire as many people as possible like to get into space industry, and like we really need to bring the Indian space economy upward, like to like to rise the economy of our country. Like that's what I'm basically focusing on at the moment.
Yeah. So, thank you, Shashank, for being guest in our podcast and giving us your valuable time. So, I am Himanshu, founder of Mass Pioneers, signing out.